in a different way, right? Let's not imagine that Mike Tyson is fighting Jake Paul. Let's imagine Mike Tyson is fighting some young, like really powerful knockout artist who's a contender. Well, guess what? Jake Paul could be that guy if we didn't think of him as Jake Paul. If you look at the people he knocks dead, when he knocked dead Tyron Woodley with one punch, that dude
I was there.
Crack.
Joe Rogan has raised fears about Mike Tyson potentially dying in his controversial clash with Jake Paul. Despite these worries, there remains a glimmer of uncertainty surrounding the outcome of the fight. While Tyson's age and the vast difference in experience between the two fighters are undeniable factors, speculation persists about whether Iron Mike still possesses the power and skill to deliver a knockout blow to Paul. During a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience Podcast, he said, "It's not necessarily carved in stone yet. They might not approve it. If a lot of people protest, they won't approve it. The thing is, if Tyson dies, see if you have something like that happen." Despite having serious concerns about Tyson's well-being, Rogan isn't ruling out the possibility of Iron Mike rolling back the years and knocking Paul out cold. The UFC commentator said, "If he's physically capable of recapturing 70% of what he used to do, just dealing with that 90% of the power will be a problem for Paul. 70% of the physical ability and 90% of the power, because the power is not gone. You see it when he hits the bag. The power is there 100%, but he's had a bunch of back issues. He had a really bad sciatica and he was walking with a cane, but who knows what they've done with stem cells. I'm sure he's with the right people. Even at 57, you can make a lot of money if Mike Tyson is fit and in shape, which is so crazy to say." Initially, there was speculation that the bout might be an exhibition match, possibly with both fighters wearing headgear for added safety. However, the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation has surprisingly decided to sanction the fight as a professional bout, albeit with some modifications such as 8 two-minute rounds. In a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience Podcast, Tyson mentioned that the fight's approval was not guaranteed due to potential protests. However, the fight is now officially sanctioned. Tyson also highlighted the potential consequences of serious harm or death during the fight.
Like, that's crazy.
If Tyson dies, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. See, if you have something like that, if you have, look, if
that'd
this,
be the end of the
right.
Yeah, that'd be the end of that
Let's-
experiment.
Let's imagine it in a different way, right? Let's not imagine that Mike Tyson is fighting Jake Paul. Let's imagine Mike Tyson is fighting some young, like really powerful knockout.
Rogan is concerned about Tyson's welfare, but acknowledges the possibility of Iron Mike reclaiming his former glory and striking Paul. He believes that if Tyson can regain 70% of his physical capabilities, it would pose a significant challenge.
Artist who's a contender.
Probably
Well,
wouldn't
guess
see
what? Jake Paul could be that guy if we didn't think of him as Jake Paul. If you look at the people he knocks dead, when he knocked dead Tyron Woodley with one punch, that dude
I was
can
there.
f***ing crack.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, so like that's what I'm saying, exactly what you're saying. We don't want to give him credit because it's Jake Paul.
Exactly.
But we gotta wake up and realize that he's still 27, young, and for the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years, he's had the
training
best
consistently.
coaches working with him.
Probably 90% of the power. 70% of the physical ability and 90% of the power, because the power's not gone. You see it when he hits a bag.
Yeah, he's
You
still
see-
got the power.
The power's there, 100%. But he's had a bunch of back issues. He had real
Yeah,
bad
he was
sciatica.
having problems walking and
He's
stuff.
walking
I saw
with a
him with a cane. Yeah.
So, but who knows what they've done?
Rogan acknowledged Tyson's past health issues, including severe sciatica, but acknowledged the potential of stem cell therapy. He believed that even at 57, Tyson could still generate substantial earnings if he was fit and in shape.
Themselves, I'm sure he's with the right people. Like, even at 57, you can make a lot of money if Mike Tyson's fit and in shape, which is so crazy to say. It's just weird that we're even talking about
Right. 100%.
that the fucking guy from Disney is going to fight Mike Tyson, the YouTube kid.
Yeah, I know.
mean, and the path to beat Mike.
American sports journalist Stephen A. Smith expressed disapproval of the labeling of a bout as purely professional, stating in a live television appearance that the decision was deemed unjustifiable. He said, "I'm sad. I'm saddened by it. I'm disgusted by it. I don't like it one bit. Great Mike Tyson, who we all treasure because of the years of greatness he gave us, but he is 57. I mean, come on, man. Why be at a sanctioned boxing match?" Smith then questioned the intentions of the problem child, whom he believed was not serious regarding his future in boxing. If he wanted to hone his skills as a boxer, he would have been better off after fighting a top current fighter, not a boxing legend who hung up gloves 20 years ago. Smith continued.
He keeps telling us how serious he's taking this and how bad he wants it.
Right.
Well, okay, if you want the money, man, please keep doing your thing. And if it's about you wanting to elevate your level, you got to get in the ring with somebody of your ilk, your age, you know, your size. Ain't nobody asking him to go into the ring with some Canelo or Bivol or Better Biev or somebody like that. Ain't nobody asking him to do that. But you could get into the ring with dudes who are actually fighting professionally in the modern day era.
The heavyweight veteran will be 58 years old when he laces up his gloves again and has faced multiple warnings from doctors over the health risks of competing. And when asked who was more at risk out of Paul and Tyson given the new rules, Frank Warren echoed these thoughts in a chat with Jim White and Simon Jordan on TalkSport. Warren said, if Mike Tyson clips him in the first or second round, then you'd think Jake Paul would be more at risk. But at the end of the day, you have to think that the 58-year-old guy is at risk. Let's get it right. A 58-year-old boxing? I mean, come on. There is no argument. The boxing community has stirred up criticism over the approval of the match, leaving Warren astonished by its sanctioned status. Warren pointed out that Mike Tyson shouldn't be engaging in fights, stating it as a straightforward matter. He expressed surprise at the fact that Texas had licensed a 58-year-old to fight, suggesting that such a decision might be more acceptable if it were an exhibition match. Warren added, if that comes across a commission's desk and they have rubber stamped that, I mean, come on. What hearing did they have when they were all sitting around that table? Remember, these American commissions are state commissions appointed by the state, so the state and government have a say in that. Oscar De La Hoya, a legendary boxer, expressed concern about Tyson Paul's upcoming fight with Iron Mike. He expressed his love for Tyson and believes Paul was a genuine fighter. De La Hoya urged Tyson to be cautious and pray for him, highlighting the potential danger of the fight.
I'm gonna pray for Mike Tyson because I love Mike Tyson.
Right.
You know, I think Jake Paul, look, he's a real fighter. He really is. It's a dangerous fight. Mike Tyson, be careful, please.
Some people warned Jake about the potential harm caused by Mike Tyson, the most feared boxer in history. A reporter questions Oscar's legacy, stating that Tyson is firmly established in history and will forever be remembered as a significant figure.
If Mike loses, could this potentially ruin his reputation?
No, Mike Tyson is cemented legacy forever.
So you think even with a loss? No, well, we're not saying it's a loss, but we're saying hypothetically,
right.
if he loses, you're saying that he's going to get away scot-free. Everyone's going to just remember the old Mike, not this new.
Mike Tyson will be the man forever.
Joe Rogan highlighted the importance of hormone replacement for older individuals in the Jake-Mike fight, suggesting that Jake could be surprised by Mike on July 20th due to his recent weight increase, indicating a potential game changer in the fight.
Placement. Hormone replacement's a game changer.
Oh,
yeah. It's a different thing. Like, a 57-year-old man today, like Mike Tyson, it's like, that's not a 57-year-old man from 1994.
Oh, this is the
Hormone replacement therapy is used to restore hormonal balance in males, correct testosterone imbalances, enhance bone density, and rejuvenate the male physique. Joe Rogan argues that the approach to health today differs significantly from those in their 50s 3 decades ago, emphasizing the importance of comparing individuals.
yes.
Oh, that's the 360. So the idea to explain that was that I forget who used to.
After that, Max Holloway mentioned the viral training clips of Mike Tyson circulating on social media. After seeing those clips, Rogan and Holloway both think there's a possibility for Tyson to defeat Jake Paul. But how? Max Holloway, after observing Tyson's training footage, is inclined to believe that a knockout victory for the 57-year-old is entirely feasible. Holloway asked Rogan if he had seen the clips of Tyson moving, and then he said, imagine Tyson goes in there and just like in the clips.
That would be
clips a guy,
crazy.
bro. What is going on?
He's gonna be hell on wheels in the first round for sure. He's gonna be hell on wheels. You know, because I don't know how long he can go.
Joe Rogan, a UFC commentator, was uncertain about the age difference between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul and his physical condition. He suggested Tyson apply pressure on Paul from the start of the fight to secure a victory. Rogan predicts Mike Tyson will be formidable in the first round due to uncertainty about his endurance and physical condition. The fight's outcome cannot be definitively predicted until July 20th.
I don't know what his joints feel like or his back feels like. I don't know what's really going on. When you're watching clips of a guy hitting the pads.
Let's hope he gets something crazy and then he say his back is broken. That iconic speech. We get another iconic speech from him.
It's going to be interesting. And it's the only time I could ever remember where I would be interested in watching a 57-year-old man fight a 27-year-old man.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, like even bro, like because everybody saw him walking around with the cane, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's walking around. What if he trolling everybody? What if he knew, bro? What if he knew something we didn't know? What if he's wearing or seeing us all over, you know? But even that, bro, they had the new video of him moving. I'm like, but this is not fair. What is he doing? Like,
they're going to do everything to him. They're going to give him all the hormones, all the recovery, everything. They're going to do everything they can to get him ready for that. There's a lot of money in this.
That's a lot of money, bro. It's going to be, and it's only an exhibition, right? It's not even a real fight, right?
And they have 16-ounce gloves, and they have to fight 2 minutes.
Yeah, but you can still.
Despite uncertainties about Tyson's physical condition and endurance, Rogan suggested that Tyson's aggressive approach from the outset of the fight could pose a formidable challenge for Paul. However, Rogan also explained why Paul is also a good fighter, posing a major challenge to Tyson.
You know, I mean, even Paul, bro. Paul is not a small guy.
No.
He's big. Like, a lot of guys think he's tiny. He's a huge boy.
He's a big dude, and he can crack.
Yeah.
And I always say that people look at him like a guy who is a YouTuber, and they're denying his skills.
Not anymore, bro. Before, when he first was coming out, that's the way you should look at him. But now, bro, he had like Love in his corner. Like, Love is his main trainer. What is it? John Love, or he's one of Floyd boys. Mm-hmm. That guy he was like a legit world champion at one point, so he knows the training that he has to be done. Like, before, I was like, yeah, whatever. But then when you see Paul dedicate himself and how he's training, getting ready for these guys, like, he's a businessman too. Don't get me wrong, but he's training, bro. He's not freaking cutting no corners, bro. No. He got the right guys. He got a right team. Strength and conditioning, probably eating right, eating good, fighting on his terms, bro.
Yeah.
Like, guy
what
just
did
smart,
you think of Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou?
Oh, brother.
Apart from the probable outcome of that fight, the Count, after doing his own analysis, concluded that the boxing match wasn't an actual fight. The fight is officially going down this summer, and Michael Bisping weighed in on how the fight will affect both Paul and Tyson. Although people aren't expecting Iron to come out on top, which is evident looking at how people have reacted to the news of this fight, a win over Mike Tyson will certainly be the biggest feather on Jake Paul's cap. Michael Bisping further stated, "It's an official fight. It's a professional fight. If Mike Tyson loses, he will have a loss to Jake Paul, and Jake will have a win over Mike Tyson, which regardless of how you slice it is something to brag about and see, even though he's 58 years old. Even though it will be Mike Tyson's return, Michael Bisping doesn't agree that a boxing match of this kind should go down in the official records. The match between the YouTube star and the icon has special rules applied to it.
Years old, so you can win by knockout. The rounds are going to be 2 minutes long. The gloves are going to be 16 ounces, and there's only going to be, or 14 ounces, pardon me, and there's only going to be 8 rounds. Doesn't sound like a professional boxing match.
Yeah, well, yeah. Look, I can't argue with that.
For Jake Paul, I think Mike Tyson, now that this is going to go on his record forever, and with his legacy, I think he's going to come in and just blitz the shit out of him in the first minute. I don't think this fight gets out of 2 minutes.
Teddy Atlas throws shade on the upcoming Tyson-Paul fight. Even with the Texas Boxing Commission's green light, the age chasm between a 57-year-old Tyson and a spry 27-year-old Paul, coupled with the unorthodox rulebook, has Atlas questioning the whole thing's authenticity. It's more of an exhibition match than genuine fight in his eyes. Adding to the intrigue, both contenders have opted for heavier 14 ounces gloves, deviating from the standard 10 ounces regulation gloves. In a statement released yesterday, Most Valuable Promotions co-founder Nakisa Badarian said Tyson and Paul signed on to fight each other with the desire to do so in a sanctioned professional fight that would have a definitive outcome. Over the past 6 weeks, MVP has worked with its partners to satisfy the requirements of the TDLR to sanction Paul versus Tyson, and we are grateful that we have gotten to this point. The recent rule changes have thrown a wrench into the gears of the boxing world, with Teddy Atlas, a veteran voice in the ring, questioning the fight's integrity in a YouTube broadcast.
I mean, not just me, right? Or Ken, right? We have company, right?
Disqualified, knocking out the
I just
opponent.
thought it was a good way to break the ice here with the show to start off. And the other rules are 8 2-minute rounds, not 3-minute rounds, 2-minute rounds, and 14-ounce gloves, not 10-ounce gloves. Normally pro fights are 10-ounce gloves and no headgear, which is normal for, a pro fight. Here's my question. How do you call it a professional fight if the rules you're using are not professional rules.
Teddy Atlas believes the upcoming fight between Tyson and Paul is a significant event in combat sports history. However, he questions the legitimacy of the match if the rules are not professional. There is a growing concern that the match could be a cash grab, exploiting the moment, and Tyson's age and limited ring experience could lead to serious injury.
Maybe they're in the non-binary category, given that it's 8 2-minute rounds. I'm sure the women will be happy to see someone stepping down to the shorter rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Ken. All I know is I'm really not trying to be, to pick at anything. I'm just putting the news out there, and I'm breaking it down as is our way of doing things on this show. You're calling it a professional fight. We didn't know if it was going to be professional or not. They decided to sanction it as a professional fight in Texas, but it's not the professional rules of a professional fight. It's not 3-minute rounds. It's 2-minute rounds. It's not 10-ounce gloves. It's 14-ounce gloves. Yet it's being called professional rules. Look, they could do whatever they want in boxing, right? I mean, as long as money's there, the commission's going to make money. They're going to bring money into the state. Money's going to come into the coffers for everybody.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.